AITA for refusing to co-sign my sister's mortgage after my parents went behind my back. I, 28F, have been busting my butt for years to save for my own house. I work in software so I make decent money, but it still takes forever to build up a good down payment. Meanwhile my younger sister, 25F, is in grad school with barely any credit. Our parents, both mid-50s, found a house near them and decided she needs it. They made an offer, without telling me, and now the deal only goes through if I co-sign. The problem? I had no clue they'd do this. My parents basically dropped a bomb. You have the best credit score. Co-sign so your sister can get the house. They also hinted I should chip in for the down payment because you've got the money. If I co-sign, I'll be on the hook if my sister can't pay. She's still in school, has debt, and zero backup plan. The bank might also reject my future mortgage application since they'll see I'm already tied to another loan. But my parents say I'm selfish and forgetting family values. My sister's calling me a monster for leaving her stranded, and my mom threatened to cut off any future financial help, like wedding money, if I don't help right now. Some relatives think it's insane my parents tried to rope me into this after they already made the offer. Others say I should just do it for the family's sake. I feel guilty but also mad they put me in this spot. AITA for protecting my own finances, or are they wrong for strong-arming me into co-signing a mortgage I never wanted in the first place? I'm actually adopted. LMAO forgot to mention in my confused and angry state. My parents adopted me when I was very young because they'd been struggling to conceive. A few years later, they had my younger sister naturally, which was a huge deal to them. She was their miracle baby. Ever since, it's felt like my role in the family became the older, adopted one, while she was the golden child who could do no wrong. Growing up, I was expected to pitch in more, be more responsible, and generally look out for my sister. I worked my butt off in school, snagged scholarships, and eventually landed a good job in software. All the while, I felt like my family mostly saw me as the fallback option in case anyone needed financial or emotional support. Now that I'm actually building my own life, saving for a house, focusing on my career, I'm realizing how my success just makes me look like a bigger piggy bank to my parents. The more independent I become, the clearer it is that I need to separate myself from the constant guilt trips and the unspoken expectation that I'll always bail them, or my sister, out. I love them, but I can't keep sacrificing my own future to maintain a dynamic where I'm never the priority. So thank you all for the wake-up call, not co-signing, standing firm and moving on. Okay, so here's where I'm at. I'm absolutely not signing my sister's mortgage, and I'm definitely not pitching in for any down payment. This whole thing was the final push I needed to realize how messed up our family dynamic has been for ages. I mean, I've always known it was bad, but having them basically try to volunteer me, and my finances, without even asking, just crossed a line I can't ignore anymore. I'm done. I've decided to cut ties. I'm already in the process of dropping any financial entanglements we might have, cutting off shared accounts, making sure they can't use my information for anything, and basically scrubbing them from my finances. My job lets me work remotely, so I'm planning to move out of state soon. That was always in the back of my mind, but now it feels urgent. I need space, distance, and a real shot at a normal life without the constant guilt trips. I'm also locking down my credit, freezing it, changing passwords, everything. I'm not taking any chances that someone might try to open a line of credit in my name. I've seen enough horror stories and I'm not about to become one. Thankfully, I'm not alone in all this. My close friends have been incredible. They're basically my real family at this point, helping me pack, offering me a place to stay if I need it, reminding me that I'm not crazy for wanting to protect my future. They've been the biggest source of support, and I'm honestly so grateful to have them in my corner. So yeah, that's it. I'm not signing. I'm leaving. I'm done. If my family wants to blow up at me for abandoning them, so be it. I've got to look out for myself, my credit, and my sanity. Here's to hoping things only get better from here. Everyone who commented their 2 cents are amazing people, and I thank you all for your support while I'm dealing with this. Truly thank you. Absolutely do not co-sign. NTA if you refuse, let your mom not pay for the wedding. If she's threatening now, she will again. In the end she probably won't. But that's not the main reason not to co-sign. The main reason is there is a huge chance you will be in debt for a house that is not yours. It will be cheaper to pay for your own wedding than deal with this too. Then you don't have the added pressure of a 100+ person wedding because mom helped pay, and mom's choice of everything because she is paying. Exactly. You're protecting your financial future, and that's what matters most. If they're really trying to guilt trip you with wedding money, that's just manipulation. Stick to your guns. Yeah, and it will give you a good reason not to invite your mom to the weddings. Trust me, parents only add stress. Party with people you love, your friends. How come they didn't try to help you get a house? Don't sign. The husband of a friend of mine co-signed on a loan for his sister's law school tuition and she never paid a dime. My husband co-signed a car loan for his sister. She made one payment, never paid another dime. As soon as he paid off the loan, he was so relieved, but it was short-lived. She hawked the car at a predatory title loan place. She expected him to buy her another car. He did not. Never co-sign. If someone can't get a loan, there is a reason. Don't co-sign anything. If you do, the debt becomes yours. I promise you. That happened with my friend's parents with two of their kids and it wrecked their credit so bad they couldn't refinance their house for a lower mortgage when the bubble burst in 2010. They lost it and had to move for her dad to find any work in tech since his job went out of business. For the love of sanity, do not sign anything. Your parents suck, your sister sucks, and anyone who thinks you should do it is as delusional as they are. Tell them they found and signed stuff for it, they can pay for it. We don't have money equals, you don't have a new house then. Any you have money comments can be met with guess I'll get my own house then. Your sister can live home or find flatmates. Pity for them as she should like an awe. Also advise your parents that you hope they're saving for their retirement as your sister seems to be hopeless and you're not available. Probably should check their credit to make sure the parents haven't taken out loans or credit cards in OP's name cause that is next. Lock down your credit ASAP and stop discussing your finances with everyone. So your sister is the golden child and you are not. Don't co-sign the loan. Tell your parents to give your sister the wedding money and since your finances won't be a dumpster fire, as they would if you co-sign the loan, you'll pay for your own wedding and will be sure to send them a picture since obviously they won't be there. Tell them how much you appreciate them freeing you from having to care for them as they age since that will fall 100% to your sister. NTA but your family is really toxic. Yeah, honestly that's a solid point. They're basically setting you up to be the one to carry everything while playing favorites. You're definitely NTA for wanting to protect your finances. Probably something I should have said this but was blinded by my confusion and forgot to mention, I was adopted, not as a baby but around the age of 6. Was always different and never bothered to reconnect with bio mom. I knew I was an outsider but as I got older and somewhat overshadowed my younger sister with my successful career I think it created a resentment between my parents and me. So I think it's hitting at breaking point and really showing. You are not forgetting family values, they are my showing you they don't value you at all. Just your money. It's as if they're trying to take from you to diminish your success specifically to give to your sister. You are a grown adult and owe them nothing. I wouldn't even trust them about a wedding fund at this point. They're banking on you caving to not lose your relationship with them. Frankly, there doesn't seem to be much more left than a transactional relationship. You are earning your money for your house. Whatever shady dealings they partake in is absolutely not your issue in any way, shape, or form. Please don't tolerate this sort of financial manipulation. In addition to this, I would strongly suggest, because they adopted OP, that OP puts in a credit alert for their credit because there's a good chance they have her enough of her information to potentially do other things to mess up OP's credit to help golden child remember they chose to adopt you. You do not owe them anything for raising you. That is what parents are supposed to do. Do not sign the loan, and they've made you feel guilty and lesser than ever since. Any good adoptive parent would never make their child feel like an outsider. They are not treating you like a child, but like an ATM for your golden child sister. Do not co-sign. Do not gift a down payment. Do not treat your sister better than you treat yourself. 2 other things. When grad students graduate, they get jobs often far away. It's a ridiculous time to buy. This house is near her parents. Why not just move into her parents' basement? Buying this house isn't even a good idea, my guess. This house very near her parents came on the market suddenly. Parents want their baby to live near them forever and think this is the perfect opportunity, but she isn't in a place to buy a house. Can we guilt OP into helping? Yeah, that's what we'll do. Lock down your credit score and make sure they can't use your information anyway. My sister had hers trashed by the ex because he would take out loans in her name. I have seen parents do this as well, regardless of the child's age or consent, wondering if the parents passed or failed the pre-qualification check, and that's why they're pressuring OP. I thought all states required one, but Google says not. Some realtors won't even show potential buyers certain/any houses without a loan pre-approval from a lender, because it's a waste of time. Yes, adding another person to an offer or loan app with great financial credit and job will improve their credit score, but there's no way a reputable mortgage lender is going to give these people a loan. OP being coerced is illegal. Grad student sis will not qualify. Without basically a trust fund, especially without a job, sounds like the parents have their own house nearby, meaning they have a mortgage already and would be overextended. This would be an expensive folly because earnest money, application fees, etc. So, Was this house for OP as well, or is OP expected to pay her own rent and sister's mortgage? Because a mortgage company is going to ask that too. OP should have a family member with common sense point out how mortgage lending works. The persons wanting to purchase a property have to show, lordy, so much documentation, several years of taxes, bank accounts, pay statements, bills, assets, income streams not from work, down payment origin and more for all parties on the loan application. That is not free, by the way, that the payments will be paid and how and by whom on time, for 30 years. Not to mention they'll check future income to debt ratio, utilities, maintenance, and more. Ridiculous to think an arm-twisted signature is going to magically grant them a home loan. Bottom line, sis doesn't have a job, cannot pay mortgage. Parents likely can't pay 2 mortgages. OP is likely paying her own rent or mortgage. Ditto. She likely can't pay for 2 places. Mortgage lenders won't give them a loan regardless of credit score. They can't pay. Buying a house is not like buying a car. Much easier to repo a vehicle. Lenders lose big dollar on mortgage defaults, so they're pretty risk adverse. OP should just leave a mortgage requirement list for her fam and go and see. Nope, right out of there with facts. Freezing your credit is something I recommend to everyone. I work in cybersecurity and it is a risk vector for many people, especially the elderly. Data breaches happen regularly and your information may be floating around for anyone to come across, whether it is current or out of date. You should leave your credit frozen and only unfreeze it when a planned activity is occurring, intentionally opening a credit card, making a vehicle purchase, etc. Then freeze it again once you are done. I actually forgot to unfreeze my credit when buying a new car and they came back and said there was an issue. I remembered, unfroze it, and within 5 minutes they were able to run the check again. That's when I knew it worked. Go to all 3 bureaus' websites directly and you can do it there. Mom, Dad, I'm not signing a fucking thing. My money and credit score are mine to do with what I choose. I choose not to do whatever this bullshit is. If they don't like it, tough shit. Don't play their games. Walk away knowing you're going on to a better future. Yet another fake rage bait post. It's got all the bells and whistles. I, 28F, have been busting my butt for years to save for my own house. I work in software, so I make decent money, but it still takes forever to build up a good down payment. Hardworking and responsible OP. Meanwhile, my younger sister, 25F, is in grad school with barely any credit. Our parents, both mid-50s, found a house near them and decided she needs it. They made an offer, without telling me, and now the deal only goes through if I co-sign. Insane family demand. The problem? I had no clue they'd do this. My parents basically dropped a bomb. You have the best credit score. Co-sign so your sister can get the house. They also hinted I should chip in for the down payment because you've got the money. Insane family ups their insane demand with the added ridiculousness that indicates the insane family know how much savings their 28 years old kid has and also their credit score. If I co-sign, I'll be on the hook if my sister can't pay. She's still in school, has debt, and zero backup plan. The bank might also reject my future mortgage application since they'll see I'm already tied to another loan. Logical response by OP to insane family demand. But my parents say I'm selfish and forgetting family values. My sister's calling me a monster for leaving her stranded, and my mom threatened to cut off any future financial help, like wedding money, if I don't help right now. Obligatory buzzwords, phrases, guilting, and threats. Some relatives think it's insane my parents tried to rope me into this after they already made the offer. Others say I should just do it for the family's sake. I feel guilty but also mad they put me in this spot. Others get their say. AITA for protecting my own finances, or are they wrong for strong-arming me into co-signing a mortgage I never wanted in the first place? YTA for posting this formulaic fake post. NTA financial abuse. This doesn't sound like the first time OP has been put in this position. You sound financially responsible and goal-oriented. Your parents and sister can insult you all they want, but you would be insulting your own intelligence by allowing them to bully you into signing. Although you can tell them that you will only co-sign if only your name is on the deed. Sister flakes on the payments? You can sell the house to pay off the loan and will have no problem getting a bank loan to buy the house you actually want. That is a terrible idea. And, as a mom of a 24 years old, 28 years old, 32 years old and 39-year-old, I feel I can truthfully say your patents are being toxic idiots. Please do not agree. Make up anything you can to get them off your back, invent a credit problem, etc. That is, if you're interested in trying to maintain some kind of relationship. If you're feeling strong enough, say no and refuse to discuss it further except maybe to say you cannot afford to do it.nois a complete sentence. Lean on your intelligent relatives who agree your parents are unhinged. Please say no, and for what it is worth, I would never ask a child of mine to do that for any anyone, even a sibling. That sounds like financial security suicide. Good luck. Be sure to freeze your credit with all 3 bureaus and freeze your social security number as well. I would also contact the financial institution that is issuing the mortgage and tell them you're not involved in case they forge your signature. They have your social security number and may have already had the bank run your information. I was guessing this because how else would his family know he had the best credit of all of them? Too many credit checks can also be detrimental. Also look into freezing the small ones like LexisNexis. I'm sure I'm spelling it wrong. Some will let me know if I do. Just lock down everything you possibly can think of. I read your other post and am so glad to read this update. Perhaps a new phone number when you move. Also, I wouldn't tell them your address. Yeah, I move out west. When you really moved east/north/south, lock or privatize your socials and look up gray rocking towards your family. Your life is about to open up and flourish and I'm so excited for you. So, my mother made the argument my younger sister needed my car and I didn't when we went to uni. I am British, so you don't need a car to survive. She wrote it off. I've never had an accident in my life. But rather than pay the increased insurance costs for my sister, they decided to put it under my name as they were paying for my insurance. FYI, I had no idea I even had insurance to drive a car in a different city to me. My mother had actually committed insurance fraud and pretended to be me to achieve this. Car insurance in UK is not like US. I live here now. And it is mega expensive for young people and it is heavily influenced by no accidents. I have been driving for 18 years in both countries and never had an accident. Long story short, I had a baby this year and my parents have not been to visit. They would rather spend time with my sister's child. They didn't see me while I was pregnant, didn't help whatsoever, haven't visited me in 5 years. They also gave my sister a deposit to buy a home but wouldn't help me out at all while I was finishing up a PhD and had run out of funding and was working 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. in an airport and working 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the lab to finish my PhD to get through it. I desperately needed £200 to help me pay my rent and they wouldn't help. I am smarter, more accomplished, have more money, prettier, etc., etc., etc. Sorry, the point isn't to brag, it is to explain the psychology. Than my sister. At the age of 36 now, I realize they will never be close to me because they need people to be beneath them no matter how many horrible things my sister does to them and how many times I help them out. I saw you're adopted, and don't know if the psychological explanation fits your circumstance, but I do know what it feels like to be the less loved kid. I hope it helps to know this happens in families without adoption. But I can imagine if I were you, I would 100% assume it is because I am adopted. I'm so sorry, sad face. My advice is to not to yourself feel like a fool later in life when you have a mark against your name. If your sister doesn't pay her mortgage, IT could ruin your life and you'll have a hard time forgiving yourself when you look back later and realize that you should have realized how insane it was for parents to be asking a young woman, 28, to take on the responsibility for their kid. Please, please, please take care of you only from now on. Forget your parents. Point. One day you'll find a partner and have kids and you need to take care of yourself and set yourself up right to support that. If they don't have good credit, how are they going to pay for your wedding? It is highly unlikely any of these people will ever give you support in the near or far future. As you recognized, when they look at you, all they see is a piggy bank that can be used to help their biological child, and yet it is completely unnecessary for your sister to buy a house at age 25, and choosing not to co-sign a loan for her is not leaving her stranded in any way. Most 25-year-old people do not own a home. Many people do not own a home until their mid-30s. And some people never own a home. Why is it so important to your parents that your sister own a home at age 25 when you do not own one at age 28? In fact, if you do what they want, then you will likely never own a home, and yet that's okay. What about their family values of looking out for their daughter? They don't have good credit because of poor financial decisions, and they are now trying to push you into one now. Do not fall for it. You said you felt guilty. You have no reason to feel guilty. Do not screw up your financial future for them. No one should be buying a house if they cannot afford one. Even if you co-sign, can your sister afford to make the monthly payments? Is she responsible enough to make sure it is paid every month? Somehow I don't think so. It's a bad idea all around. Do not give in, otherwise you will regret it deeply. Co-signing will be the stupidest thing you could do. You won't qualify for a mortgage of your own later. You'll also end up paying your sister's mortgage since you know she won't and your parents won't help. Stop letting other people guilt you into making a huge mistake that I guarantee you'll regret. Find other people in your life that you can call family, because the ones you currently have don't give a crap about you. NTA, please update us once you tell them all. NTA. Absolutely not. Co-signing will not only ruin you, but it will make it harder to get your own house. You would no longer qualify for any first-time homeowner loans or programs. Plus, this will throw off your debt-to-income ratio. That is a terrible idea, and As a mom of a 24 years old, 28-year-old, 32-year-old and 39-year-old, I feel I can truthfully say your patents are being toxic idiots. Please do not agree. Make up anything you can to get them off your back, invent a credit problem, etc. That is, if you're interested in trying to maintain some kind of relationship. If you're feeling strong enough, say no and refuse to discuss it further, except maybe to say you cannot afford to do it.nois a complete sentence. Lean on your intelligent relatives who agree your parents are unhinged. Please say no, and for what it is worth, I would never ask a child of mine to do that for anyone, even a sibling. That sounds like financial security suicide. Good luck, young lady. Research the consequences of co-signing a mortgage. Print of the pages and send it to your parents. Here, let me help. You are legally responsible for the entire mortgage debt, including late fees and collection costs. If the borrower defaults, missed or late payments by the borrower will negatively impact your credit score. The mortgage will also increase your debt-to-income ratio, potentially lowering your creditworthiness and ability to secure new loans. You have no legal claim to the property even though you are liable for the debt, which also means if she sells the house upside down, you will be responsible for shortage. If the borrower defaults, lenders can sue you for repayment, including legal fees and remaining balances after foreclosure, garnishment of wages, etc. Financial issues or defaults can damage personal serious relationships with future husbands. Your loan is not an investment, you get no ROI. It is difficult to remove yourself from the mortgage unless the borrower refinances or pays off the loan entirely. Even then you incur costs. Overall, very bad idea, especially to an entitled, spoiled, Cinderella syndrome family. I didn't see the wouldn't help with future wedding. Response: bitch, you can't afford a down payment for Cinderella, but you want me hold my breath in hopes you help pay for my wedding? I'll turn blue before that happens.